Okay, let's talk about the weather, it's just been changing constantly throughout the day, Craig.
I know. Started off beautiful, sunshine, then the rain came in, and we do have some scattered showers tonight. Joyce, Mark, we'll have a few more showers through about midnight, and then tomorrow's going to be a cool start to the weekend. But sunshine right around the corner. Good evening to you. Let's get started. We're going to start in Payne Field, Everett, just to show you some of the rain on the lens here. In case you aren't getting it, south of here, there's not a whole lot of rain, but we do have some. And current temperatures are in the 50s and a couple of 60s. This is a fast-moving, weak system, leaving at best about 1/10 of an inch of rain, and most of that will be from places like Bellingham up through Blaine. This is the radar for the past 3 hours, and we'll start up in the north and work our way south as this system's coming through. Now, the darker shades of green is a little more of a moderate downpour, and the yellow is a heavier rain. You can see some right across the San Juan Islands, all the way down to Oak Harbor, Camano Island, Whidbey Island. You've got some of those heavier bands there. Everett, Arlington, boy, you've got some pretty decent rain coming in. Kingston as well. You head on down south, though, this is fizzling out once you get past Seattle. We do have some right on the Kitsap Peninsula headed over to Seattle and over to Kent, but most of that, again, will be very light. Up to the north, not much going on as the back side of this has moved out of here. This system is, again, fast moving and will be out of here, but we'll keep the cloud cover coming through a good part of the evening and into early tomorrow morning. Rainfall total so far, almost 1/10 Quillu, less than that most other spots. And as we look at Futurecast 10 p.m., here we go with some of the rain moving through. By 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe a few light lingering showers, mainly along the Olympic Peninsula, Everett up to Blaine as well. Again, very light through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. With the cloud cover being so thick, we might manage to squeeze out a couple of scattered raindrops, mostly drizzle. Now, Sunday will start off mostly clear, so a whole different story. And by the afternoon, sunshine. High pressure's building in, and Monday will be the warmest day of the week ahead. So rainfall totals certainly less than 1/10 of an inch of rain as we go through the remainder of tonight into early tomorrow morning as we pause a moment with Craig. Hey, I'd love to see your pictures. Send me your pictures. Use the hashtag K5Pets. Cloudy with drizzle tomorrow. Look at that little cat. I love it. Partly sunny by 6 p.m. Tonight we've got some 50s for you. Your highs tomorrow will be mostly in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Here is your 7-day forecast. Again, Monday, the warmest day, but if you're looking just at the weekend, let's focus on that. 72 tomorrow. Sunday will be a warmer day, mid to upper 70s, and then we'll have those 80s. Mark and Joyce on Monday, but a little bit of a weak system coming through Wednesday and Thursday as well. Nice weekend ahead, though, especially Sunday.
Okay, thanks, Craig.